We on. I want to welcome you all to another episode of the For Me to You Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jay Davis, along with Greg. Hey, Greg, you ready? Me versus you. Let's leave it all out on the line. So this past week, we done seen everything. Gee, I think you can agree to that. We got Shaq and JaVale getting into it. We got Draymond calling out Paul Pierce. What situation you want to talk about first? Which one? Which one should we address first? Should we talk about the Shaq and JaVale? You tell me.
Let's do the Draymond and Paul Pierce, because I'm seeing a lot of Facebook saying that Draymond Green is not on Paul Pierce's level skill wise. I do agree, but it's things that Draymond Green does that don't go on the stat sheet that helps his team, and then come to find out yesterday, Paul Pierce said he started it.
See, okay, I didn't even know that.
Paul Pierce said he started it because Blake Griffin was posting up Draymond Green. Was like, yeah, he can't guard you, this, and that. And during the foul, that's when you heard that Draymond Green saying, "Oh, gone. You want a farewell tour for your last year? You're not Kobe. They don't love you like that, But then Paul Pierce fired back yesterday saying that, well, you're not that good. If it wasn't for Clay or Curry, you wouldn't have a ring. Well, and I'm a huge Paul Pierce fan. I played a little ball myself, and I took a lot of his moves. I look up to Paul Pierce's game. Much respect, Hall of Famer. But what was Boston before Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen came?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. The truth was actually giving his all, but he was losing in a losing effort a lot. He was giving his all in a losing effort a lot.
And from what Glenn Davis, a.k.a. Big Baby, said about Doc Rivers, what'd he say? Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett saved him?
Yeah, I know he was saying something about being overrated, but you know what? That actually might. I was actually kind of feeling that way too, because when I actually heard, when I actually seen the Clippers up 3-1 on the Rockets, and then the Rockets came back and beat them, I was like, how do you let that happen? You're up 3-1. This is supposed to be Doc Rivers, who had Tom Thibodeau on them, who had Tyronn Lue under him. You've had all these good coaches under you, and you're like renowned to be like one of the best coaches, but you let someone come back on you from a 3-1, just like Steve Kerr did. I'm like, I don't know. And then that was the Rockets. That was the Rockets, just with James Harden, and they had Josh Smith, and they had Josh Smith, I guess, and I don't even know and Dwight Howard, but we all know about Dwight Howard. I don't think Dwight Howard is as good as he was in Orlando, but yeah, it's the point. But Doc Rivers, you had a solid team with the Clippers. That's actually the same team you have now, who you've had for quite a while, and y'all haven't really made that much noise. So, yeah, but getting back to the whole Draymond situation, I don't see a problem with what Draymond said. I see it's a lot of people like me and you are both mutual friends on Facebook. We see a lot of people actually giving Draymond slack, saying, well, Draymond, you wouldn't be this without this and that, and I'll take the Greek freak over Draymond. I'll take PG-13 over Draymond. Yeah, they all stars, and I would put Draymond in that same category. Like, I don't know why people keep trying to overlook Draymond Green. Like Draymond Green isn't a star, and Draymond Green probably isn't the most important piece on that team. Like, I had somebody.
I beg the difference. I beg the difference. Seriously.
So you don't think Draymond Green is the most?
Draymond Green is the best all-around player on that team. Period.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Golden State. I'm not saying Draymond Green to get you 20 a night. I look at Draymond Green. He took a step back from his IQ. He's saying that I ain't got to do too much now, with the Kevin Durant situation. I ain't got to go and get my 15, 16 a game, a night.
You know how hard that is from a player, G, to actually even accept that role. He embraces that role. Draymond Green sometimes won't even shoot over 8 times a game, but he doesn't complain. He goes out there and he defends. He gets assists.
What he do in the finals? What he do in the finals games? 7, 32, 15, 8.
Yeah, he ball out. draining that three ball, draining
I
that three
mean, I
ball.
mean, if people watching best, people don't like Draymond because Draymond is loud, obnoxious. You know, his kicking incidents that plays a role too,
Very much
which
so.
none of us like because I don't like to see nobody kicking nobody,
No.
especially how he kicked Adams. But he's not liked. But if you were an enforcer, aka like Dennis Rodman was, Kenyon Martin was, Charles Oakley was, Anthony Mason was,
Okay.
you had these guys on your team for that. I never saw like Draymond Green like really get out of what he does best. The boy can pass. The boy can push the rock.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
saw him score. He can shoot the three. If he was cut today, I bet 30 teams would be right there calling his agent.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Now let's measure him off that. See, when that's what I asked Paul Pierce, and I ain't taking enough from Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah, Paul Pierce the
Career
man. He the man.
2,000
He great isolation player, a great team player, great leader, and stuff like that. But I feel we've got to the point in the NBA where it's like people can't speak their mind. He said, "You're not Kobe. There's nothing wrong with you." Tell him like, "I don't respect you like that. I mean, you're good. You're a legend. You're going to the Hall of Fame. But guess what? Tonight you're playing the Golden State Warriors, and I'm not about to give you that type of respect." I'm pretty sure he would have probably said the same thing to Kobe if Kobe got flapped about with him. I don't care if you're Kobe, but you're playing against me tonight. I'm not about to bow down to you. And that team to let you. I mean, Kobe dropped what 60-some points. People were saying that was staged. I mean, I don't know. I know Kobe ain't dropped 60 y'all. Kobe ain't dropped 60 all year. Then all of a sudden, Kobe up there just going out with 60 on the jet. Like, come on, you better put a double team on that. I don't know whether y'all want to give him the biggest farewell bang and let him go out. I don't know if it was staged on, but guess what? If Steve Kerr was to be like, you know what, Draymond, you know, go to state, we're gonna let Kobe drop 40. Draymond be like, no, he not in my house. He ain't doing that. I don't care. You better bench me because Kobe ain't about to do that. I don't care if it's a going out ceremony. And I'm not saying that the Utah Jazz let Kobe do that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that ain't happening on Draymond Green floor. Nah, that ain't happening. He just let Paul Pierce know a little bit about himself. You're not Kobe. You're not getting a farewell tour, and you've really digressed a lot. So I have no problem with what Draymond said. A lot of people feel that Draymond should stay in his place, but you know it's basketball. There is no place.
As an enforcer, that's what you do. You speak up for your team because come on, man. Let's anybody know that Golden State soft. I'm saying it right now.
Finesse, they're
If Draymond
finesse.
Green ain't on that team, they win nothing. I mean, and like I go back to say this too, that team was built and drafted so like I don't want to say perfect, but just about perfect for each one of them game. Each one of their game. They suits each other. It's an up and down. If Draymond don't push that ball, sometimes you think Curry and them would be sitting in the corner that open, that high screen and roll when Draymond coming with that tomahawk dunk. Or he'd get it and lob it to JaVale. He'd get it and kick it to Clay. Backdoor feed Iguodala.
He does a lot.
You ain't gotta like the person. I'm talking about what he bring to the table. Picture he doing what LeBron James do, but LeBron had the ball more than him because he facilitate. Come on, Draymond Green. Past 3 years, he didn't got some names up there in the top 5 and getting triple doubles in the NBA, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, but G, let's not clarify this. He does what LeBron do, but he doesn't score as good as LeBron James. You know, because people gonna be listening like, what he really said. I know. I'm just saying for the listeners because I know you know what you're talking about, but for the listeners, they're gonna be like, wait, did G really just say that he does what LeBron? Like, no, G is saying that he's a triple double machine. He can do everything that LeBron can do. Yes, LeBron does it better than him, but Draymond Green can do just as much as LeBron James. Go ahead, G.
Yeah, I mean, scoring is cool, but for as like, okay, I'm gonna say this: LeBron could probably just do score more. That's where it stopped. Rebounding. I see Draymond had a triple double without even scoring 10 points.
That was crazy. Huh? That was crazy. I was seeing that. When it was that just like a couple weeks ago, right? Just a couple weeks ago.
A triple double with almost a quadruple double because he had 7 points. He needed 3 points to have a quadruple double. Then that would have set him far from A
A
lot of
lot of people,
guys.
a lot of people, and it's all about knowing your role. Like this guy knows his role, and that's the thing. You've seen teams come together like the Cavaliers, and it's like it takes time for these guys to gel and and mass other big threes and big fours who've actually tried to come together. And you might know your role on one team, but once you go to another team, you can lose that role. And it's like I think you can plug Draymond anywhere. Draymond is going to know his role because
Anywhere.
he doesn't take away from anybody. He's an asset on any team. All right, plug in, take Kevin Love out the lineup. All right. Well, your 3-point shooting might go down a little
Better
bit.
than Kevin Love.
Yeah, but
Period.
3-point line though. 3-point line. I don't know. I mean, he's not too far from Kevin Love from the arc, I would say. But Kevin Love, I would say out of 10 3-pointers, I would at least pick Kevin Love to make at least probably 6 if they were just shooting. But then again, shooting in practice and shooting in the game is two total different things now. But on defense, assists and toughness and rebounds, man, the Cavs will have a crazy boost. The Cavaliers would have a enormous boost.
Exactly, because Kevin Love is one-dimensional, flat out.
Oh, yeah.
Flat out. Offense, he's flat out. Because what he do against Draymond when he was in Golden State?
Draymond getting him every time.
Because he know. Because he's going against it's like when I see Kevin Love against him, it's like having the Boy Scouts doing 20 years with a guy doing 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could tell the difference in attitude. I like attitude. This era scene don't like attitude. They like the goody two-shoe guy. They'll keep picking them up. I don't like that. I'm competing. If you don't have my jersey on, why am I showing you love? I got sportsmanship after the game. Shake your hand if you beat me. Good game, y'all. That's what's up. Give you your props. But in the game, it's on. You trying to stop me. We get contracts off big games. Did I perform well when the Cleveland came? Did I perform well when San Antonio came? Did I perform well when Boston came? When Houston came? You think my boss, my GM, sitting in that skybox ain't looking, or sitting on the floor ain't looking? Talking about, oh, you only ball against Charlotte, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But when LeBron and Isaiah Thomas and James Harden them came in, Kawhi Leonard, you was a no-show, dude. So when it's time for that contract, when I lowball you, them the games they gonna bring up to you. You can't say Draymond ain't been there. You can't say that.
I just want him and we've talked about this on this podcast plenty of times. Draymond, and it's coming from someone who hasn't even played at that level as Draymond Green. So I can just speak off what I think, and I can't tell him how to feel, but the emotion aspect, Draymond, I wish that you could just keep your emotions bottled up some, because your team is going to need you in the playoffs big time. And we know if Draymond isn't playing in the finals, it can get ugly. Draymond has to stay on the court. Stop getting him technical. I've said that like 5 times. I hope Draymond hears this and he can please, like, this is coming from a fan of the NBA. Please, Draymond, the Warriors need you more than anybody to be on that floor, especially y'all going against LeBron James. They need you. They need you a lot.
And what you said, I agree 100%. But I got to say this. It's funny you just said that. Because what Paul Pierce said,
what did he say?
He just a third tag along with Curry and them. But while you just saying that piece, and I hope our listeners let that sink in about what you just said. If not, we'll skip back and listen to what Javante just said. He just laid it out perfect about how much Draymond Green meant to Golden State. You just closed it out so perfect. I mean, I don't even know what to say after that. It show you how much he really mean to Golden State about what you just said. I applaud you for that. Oh, yeah. I applaud you for that, man. I mean, that was beautiful.
They need him. They need him.
I
Uh,
I agree 100% about what you just about Draymond.
just coming
Most
from a fan, and I know it's kind of hard because when we talk about players like DeMarcus, I guess the Spreewells, the players who play with their heads, the Marburys, the Rasheed Wallaces, the KGs, and and somebody try to tell them like tame that attitude, but ain't the attitude is what really ain't that ain't proper English. But that attitude is what got them to where they are. I'm just saying, is
yeah,
there any way to
passion.
control it?
It's
Yeah, like
attitude.
control it.
Some
Some
are
like you
passion.
don't have to go at the referees. All right, I understand the refs ain't gonna call the best call, but don't go after the referees and like, oh, this bull crap and point at them and
Yeah,
do all that stuff. Like I understand
yeah.
you have a
It's
lot of passion,
childish.
but you gotta tame it.
Let me add one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview on YouTube. Draymond Green grandmother and his mother get on him about that. Like literally, like get in his. You know what? Talking about his mother. I'm sick and tired of watching your games. You cussing. I can read lips. If you get a foul, you get a foul. Why every time this coming out of his mouth, he said this is what his grandmother and his mother said to him. Why you always got something to say to the referee?
All every time.
I mean, yeah, they do blow plays. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'll be yelling at the TV, but I'm not playing. I know the fans there are too, but you a key piece. You don't think the NBA tracks how many technicals you got because you start getting suspended out of a certain amount? You miss a game here, the next one you miss 2 games. I mean, but like you said, Tay, he gonna have to calm it down. We understand that you passionate, that you know you get mad sometimes it's not going your way, but you can really hurt this team. Chances of winning another championship off your shenanigans
Big
because the
time.
referee zoomed in on him. I heard Steve Kerr said, Draymond Green, you know, your emotions get the best of you sometimes. You get the cursing saying you don't give a bleep and don't give a bleep. The ref hit you with that first one. It's the first quarter now. Now, say you get tangled up with Blake Griffin in the fourth and it's a tie game
Mm-hmm.
with 2 minutes left. And you get up and say, that's some bull. You gone. Then y'all end up losing game 7 on y'all floor because of that.
You're gonna feel real bad about itself.
Oh man, he might get traded.
So this is something that can be nipped in the bud ahead of time. You don't even got to get that far. And y'all actually, and they have to even get to that point. It really don't. But that ain't all we got for the listeners today. We also got to talk about Shaq and JaVale McGee. Take it away, G. Take it away, please. Just go ahead, man. Tell them how you feel about that.
Shaq,
Shaq and JaVale.
Shaq and JaVale McGee. It started off, fun and games with the Shaq and the Fool, and I will say I'm a huge fan of it. I get my laughs and everything. I laugh plenty of times at JaVale McGee. I still laugh at him sometimes when I watch the Warriors game because I see so much potential in this guy. He some outstanding oops, blocks. He run the floor, but sometimes in the game, he will do something to make you scratch your head like, what? Hold on, wait. And you laugh, and Shaq is a silly guy, you know, but it's a line you don't cross, when it comes to that. Now, Shaq, it been days that JaVale McGee still ain't playing. You still had him on Shaq and the Fool. Sometimes, you can laugh at a guy, but sometimes pick him up too when he is playing good. I don't hear you say, good block, JaVale. You waiting on him to do something clumsy to make Shaq and the Fool again. Do it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this problem wouldn't be so big. Because if he see you giving him love and showing him and patting him on his back, you like, okay, I see now when I do mess up, I do deserve the Shaq and the Fool. But when you see me out here running the floor, picking and rolling with Klay Thompson, catching oops, blocking shots, give me props on that too. Balance it out is what I'm saying. I'm mad that it is taking to Twitter,
Yeah.
talking about slapping this guy. It should never come to that, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with everything Shaq said. You know, and I'm glad for JaVale McGee for stepping up. He's a man at the end of the day, just like you is, Shaq. You know, and ain't nobody gonna just sit up here and let you keep calling them bum. You know what? And this, and that. I mean, the guy just as athletic, and I applaud Kevin Durant for stepping up for his teammate. Like he said, Shaq, you weren't perfect. You missed free throws. You couldn't shoot outside the paint. You missed dunks. You know, but it wasn't no Shaq and the Fool back then. Because how would Shaq would have took it if they were saying stuff about him? They even made a rule. I mean, scheme about you, Shaq. Hack a Shaq.
Oh
That's
yeah,
carrying on today, and the league abandoned it just now.
they did. So you can't do that
Yeah,
to Shaq no more.
I think it's a certain amount of time where you can't do it. It will become a tech.
Or in the last like 2 minutes or something, right? Isn't it like in the
Yeah,
last?
yeah, okay,
Okay,
all right. That's what it
I
is.
think that's what it like. Like in the last some minutes of the game, I don't think you could do it anymore. We gotta actually get some clarity on that. But yeah, you right, because I remember them talking about that, and now people like DeAndre Jordan suffer from that. A lot of
Yeah,
big men suffer from that. Now they're like, we just gonna foul you, and that really takes away. But then again, I feel it's a tactic.
yeah.
I don't think anything's out of bounds. You can't shoot free throws. I'm gonna hold you until that
I,
team take your dominant self and go put you on the bench because you are too good to be on this floor. You're too big. Can't nobody do nothing with you. But you know what? I'm gonna put you on the free throw line. That's exactly what I'm gonna do to you. And I know that's gonna make your coach mad because y'all gonna miss 2 points every time y'all come down the floor. And then you know what? I'm gonna sub. I'm gonna also go sub in a 12th guy from the bench just to come in and come foul you. And guess what? He got what? 5 fouls to give. He got 5 to
Six.
give. Six in NBA, 5 in college. All right. He got 6 to give. Boom. Then I'm going to go get my 11th guy off the bench. He got 6 to give. So it's like, it don't even matter. I got so many times. And then, after he foul you, I'm going to sub in my offensive player, go down, hit a 3. Like, let's look at how a team like Golden State could possibly use that. Go bring in some guy that don't even play. And then, all right, Katie, go on the bench. All right, come back in now. Boom. 3 ball. All right, Shaq's in the game. All right, sub. Boom. Foul somebody. And it's like, so we've actually seen teams use that to their advantage. That hack and Shaq has cost the Clippers plenty of games. I've seen that
Yeah.
cost the Clippers plenty of games with DeAndre Jordan. And teams use that in the playoff. It don't matter when. I don't see no problem
I
with
go
that.
to show you what I say about skill set. That's a lack of skill set. But you can't foul Hakeem Olajuwon. You couldn't foul David Robinson or Patrick Ewing. You know, and I'll be the first to tell you I'm not beating Shaq down, but I'm not a Shaq fan. I respect his dominance,
Mm.
but he couldn't play for me because that's right there is a fundamental thing. It's fundamentals. Shooting free throws. It comes down to that. Shaq can't even be on the floor with the last minute left or 2 minutes left because of his handicap. I don't want that type player. I don't want it. And, and like with JaVale McGee situation, like I said, we all have flaws. Jordan had flaws. Kobe, LeBron, you know. Yeah, JaVale McGee, he'll stand out because some of them is like, what was he thinking type play. But to sit up here day in and day out and bash him, and then you find a way, this man pulling up Denver Nuggets clips. This man played for Golden State. Is you serious? Nah, I think that's wrong. I think Shaq need to chill. I mean, he don't got to apologize to him, but he go his way, they go their way. And I heard Golden State even reached out to TNT
Mm.
about Shaq. Yeah, yeah.
So
But
that mean they had went over Shaq. They said, we're about to contact the boss. The boss on the
yeah,
broadcast from the
because
boss on the
yeah,
communication section about you doing this, targeting our player.
yeah. I got another thing to mention. It's funny how when Charles Barkley said LeBron need to compete and how Shaq jumped on Barkley. Charles Barkley ain't go malice. He didn't disrespect LeBron James or nothing. But you sit up here and make jokes of a guy who's improving,
Yeah, he has. He has improved, Dre, a lot.
and you think that's cool. but you jump on Barkley for pointing out that LeBron want all the best players. So what that make you, Shaq? It's funny how like tables turn because I'm glad when people get exposed. That goes to show you how you was just catering to LeBron, but you bullying on JaVale McGee. I don't like bullies. That's just me. I don't do that. But if you're gonna critique somebody, don't get mad when somebody else critique somebody that you like. And you want to bring up rings, the Barkley and all that. Barkley a top 50 player. At the end of the day, it's a lot of them in the top 50 that don't have no rings, but that don't give him a say-so because he's not a champion. I totally disagree with that. But you cool with bullying on guys that mess up, talking about you gonna smack them when you see them. Whoa, you got kids, Shaq. So you gonna show them that? It's cool to bully, to joke, and poke at people, but you ain't praised JaVale McGee not one time. JaVale been playing pretty solid from what I've been seeing. I ain't saying he an all-star or nothing like that, but he playing his role. But it's just funny how the world and people see things. It was cool when Shaq, but ain't nobody really want to say nothing about Shaq on Facebook or nothing when he was talking about JaVale McGee. Man, Shaq will whoop him. Really? That's what y'all promote? Really? This man stood up for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it at times, and it's sad, that because we like somebody, we supposed to always back what they do or like their actions or like what they say. You could say that's wrong. You could say, nah, Shaq, I don't agree with that, man. That was wrong. What's wrong with that? Be real, be honest with yourself. Because if it was happening to you, how would you react? You would do the same thing that JaVale McGee would have did in that situation. Anybody would. People get tired, But it's tough, man. That's just down. Shaq is on that side now that he could critique. He could say little things.
That's big. You don't basically said everything. You really have. So for our listeners out listening, and for some of our listeners who is of a younger age, do you feel that he did sympathize with LeBron because he actually did go to the Lakers? Like, how do you feel about that? Shaq leaving the Magic. I mean, just elaborate on that. What was the state of that? Like, what was up with that Magic team at the time? Because I've been watching that 30 for 30, and I seen that they had a pretty good team. What was it? Nick Anderson. Who was Hardaway, Shaq? What was the other guy name?
Grant and Dennis Scott.
Okay, so they had a pretty good team, and they wound up losing to the Olajuwon, right? They wound up losing to Olajuwon. Hakeem.
All right, they lost to Hakeem.
Okay.
Then they lost to Jordan, so they knew that he knew that reign was going to be over.
Okay.
But people, it's documented that Orlando lowballed him, $56 million. And
what?
The Lakers came with more money. He took more money, went to LA. But he can't shoot free throws. So let's even it out. See, remember how I said that if Draymond Green wasn't playing good against the Spurs and all that, then when it's time for a contract, yeah, Shaq dominant. I know the listeners gonna say, man, no, he dominant. Okay, can that dominant dude? Would you be nervous with that dominant dude you paying $100 million to at the free throw line? I won't be. If I'm going against him, I feel good. Because I know he ain't going to hit both of them. That goes to show you. But people want to talk, but people don't want to talk about when Shaq left Orlando. They going to make that the contract, man. Okay. Yeah, okay, that was the contract. It was documented. Nah, 23 came back. When y'all beat him off the Nick Anderson from behind, he said, next year, y'all saw what happened. Swept them boys. It wasn't going to happen no more. He knew what time it was. What they say on that new Steph Curry. See, people ain't paying attention to that. That boy mad now. MJ was mad because he got embarrassed. Nick Anderson stripped him from behind. Horace Grant got that dunk. And they carried him out. Like, yeah. Horace Grant used to play for the Bulls. People remember that. I don't know if my young listeners do.
The Magic. The Magic
slapping Jordan's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So MJ said, okay, next year it's on. He brought the broom with him. He brought the broom with him.
Mm-hmm.
He brought that broom with him. Penny knew
Mm-hmm.
what time it was. Nick knew what time it was. They knew. They knew what time it was, and he wasn't gonna go back to the final.
So was there any commotion? Was there from the things that you've seen growing up? Was there great chemistry? Because I've actually seen a lot and stuff like that. Okay, so Penny and Shaq versus Kobe and Shaq. Is it even close?
It's a little close, but Kobe and Shaq. See, what I'm gonna say is this. I gotta be honest. That Shaq had Phil. Phil took his winning ways, his formula to LA. So that made the transition for them to become championships even easier.
all right,
You know, it's seasoned. You
all
got a
right.
seasoned coach that got championships and everything. But the Penny them was with Brian. I think it's Brian Hill, if I ain't mistaken, was the coach at the time, which was a good coach because I think Orlando won 60-some games too, one
Mm-hmm.
season. And but Kobe against that Penny, I would still go with Kobe. But it would have been a good one. But I lean towards the Lakers, Shaq and Kobe. But
Okay.
in that East, that Penny and Shaq boy. Ooh, ooh.
G said it was
Yeah.
sick. Well, G don't laid it out. We've seen it, but the overall message is still we shouldn't, especially Shaq. You actually going through that process with your Mcgee. You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. I guess keep poking at the bear because I'm pretty sure when you was playing and announcers and analysts said things about you, that really didn't sit over well with you. You really didn't like it. So JaVale McGee might be that he actually might look up to you and probably wanted to be like you. And for him to actually have an idol, possibly, always talk bad about him and always bash him, I don't think that's a good look. Like G actually made a great point. You got kids, so what is that? What is that teaching kids? What is that teaching your kids of people who is actually on their team who isn't as good as them, who keeps messing up? You're supposed to pick people up and let them know, like, hey, with practice you can do this, or maybe you need to work on this, maybe you need to work on that, because like KD said, remember KD came to JaVale McGee. He actually came in and he said, well, you couldn't shoot free throws, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't do this, and Shaq fired back at KD like, hey, stay out of it. This ain't about you. But I think that's good on KD part because he's sticking up for his teammates. So at the end of the day, it's all about camaraderie. Golden State got each other back. Shaq, I hope you and JaVale McGee can get over this bridge. Draymond Green, you and Paul Pierce, I think it's respect there. They don't disrespect they don't disrespect each other. Draymond Green was just in a moment and he just told him how he feel. So
Yeah.
that's that. Hey, you got what you got, but that actually sums up the podcast. I'm your host Jay Davis, along with my co-host Greg. We want to thank everybody for listening to the From Me to You Sports Talk. From Me to You, signing out.